Welcome back, Nerd Herders. We're back with another episode of Outer Worlds. Alright, we're going to continue on. We were getting ready to meet, what is her? Adelaide. I had to think of her name. Adelaide. Yeah, Adelaide. So, we are going to go meet her. Oh, I forgot to turn that off again. And I just did it through my whole last episode of Minecraft, too. Good job, Geek. Yeah. That's okay. Part of my episode for the last, for the Minecraft I was just playing, I actually didn't have the game scene on, so, yeah. And then I got what's her name with me?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
I was like, ew. Is this your greenhouse? Yeah.
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
I'm surprised you've managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Looks like you've made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why'd you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed's asked you to consider coming back to town, and he's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I need it to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
What do you have against this town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I don't much like you throwing that in her face to get me on your side.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
What do you have against these people trying to make a living?
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
So you think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
Alright, I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Yeah, well... Personal files. Password required. Hack. There we go. The password is Silent Spring, by the way. Open first entry. May the Eternal bless my endeavor, my first endeavor. It's been 2 days since I walked away from the life of Edgewater Cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational, mostly soil sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm gonna need some powerful fertilizer. Tired of having to taste the salt tuna lingering on my tongue day in, day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out of the earth. Last entry. We found another worker from Edgewater, ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious. Must have been plagued. I set him right with a diet of greens. He was all better in a couple weeks, physically. Spiritually, he's one of our flock now. Experimental notes. Open first entry. Experimental notes, first entry. I'm hereby repurposing the botanical lab for its original conception as gear in the soulless automation of corporate machine. The greenhouse may look impressive, but like Spacer's Choice products, it's cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own two hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturists failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor? I'm determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile upon my endeavors. Last entry. Flora are living things, as sensitive to their own environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crap in this region failed because the corporate scientists tending to them are cold, heartless, and inhumane people acting on behalf of the sterile and inhumane power. One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach the sky unless these conditions, under these conditions. The soil is sour, it's true. I don't know quite how to explain it. I'm sure the scientists will say something about biology and or carbon cycle. But I can conclude after months of my own experimentation that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertilizer bursting with organic materials, just as nature intended.
Got it. Inside voices.
Bones and gears don't mix. Back outside, isn't it? Already looked through there. So is this where she sleeps back here?
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
Alright.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Alright. What's up here? We'll pick this lock.
What do you think you're doing?
I was just leaving.
Carry on.
Huh. It was awfully weird that she, Can you close the door behind you? Guess that's a no.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Oh, that's... He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
I didn't see Thomas. We have a sleeper in here. Alright. There's Thomas.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
You think he has a crush on her?
Are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one
Do
of
I have
those
one on me?
pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Well, today's your day, Thomas. I got one of those data pads
No
you wanted.
kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 1, found in the community center archives.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years.
Yep.
I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
I'll let you know if I find the others.
Sure. I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
I want to ask you something.
What's on your mind?
How long you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
I should go. Oh, hello. Plasma cutter? Okay, so... let me see here. What mods do I have? Okay, we're going to modify this one. Install mod. Okay, that would do more damage per hit. We're going to do this one. Okay. Then we'll do this one as well. Install mod. This mod is already installed. Oh, okay. Oh, did they have... wait a minute. Install mod. New site? Oh. Alright. Mr. Ouch. Okay, so let's go to Parvati. This one does more damage, so she's going to start using that one instead. We will... my inventory. Mark that as junk. Junk. Assault rifle too. Oh, so this assault rifle does better? And I just put the magazine on that one. Dang it. Oh well, and then a hunting rifle. I'm gonna take this off and put the hunting rifle there. Yeah. Hold R to repair all. Yes. All right.
You hungry?
Stefan.
We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout.
Canid snout. Oh.
Something I can help you with?
I'm told one of your numbers gone missing.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off.
What happened to Zoe on the day she disappeared?
Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
Was she acting strange before she disappeared?
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
Tell me a little bit about Zoe.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
What was that about surprising Zoe?
The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Hold on,
Hey,
there's something else.
I got time.
I've got some more questions about... Oh, no. What are you selling?
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Alright, hold Z to sell junk. Increase your movement speed for a short time. And okay. Sure grip. And a quiet muzzler. Nice.
Okay, going quiet.
We're almost done. Zoe's journal. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today is the day that you take destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the Marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of the barrel fires, probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as well as a warning to folk like me. Living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. It should last me a couple weeks if I ration. Got some adrenatine, too. Everybody loves adrenatine, even marauders, right? I've got odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple syringes of adrenatine before their eyes. This is going to be great. Look out, Terra 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm going to have the whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. Zoe's journal, page 12. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me. No more cannery. No more jumpsuits and gloves. Yes, ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I have always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back at this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh wow, I did hate the Vale once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everyone gets sick. Well, okay. I got sick and I grabbed a little too much adrenatine. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate one box of adrenatine and suddenly you're committing larceny. Zoe's journal, page 18. Good news, I'm alive. Starting to feel a little bit better, too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food, or something that passes for food, anyway. Adelaide boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink twice a day. For my symptoms, I suppose. Tastes atrocious, but I've been feeling better. It's nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run an ether wave, so I've been catching up on my serial dramas. Masked Marauder what would I do without you? Go crazy, most like. Crack up, murder all my neighbors, and run screaming into the hills like some wild marauder. I don't know. That doesn't sound too bad. I could see myself leading a herd of marauders. A band of bandits. Wait, that doesn't sound right. A band of bandits. What would we call ourselves? The Formidable 14? The 100 Hooligans, featuring Zoe Bandit Queen. Interesting. Alright, we need to get out of here and go find Zoe, and we need to go to the power plant and decide what we're going to do.
What is it?
I've got questions about Zoe.
I'll tell you what I can.
Oh, let's change
What
the-
is it?
I thought maybe I did have questions. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it. So let me save the game. Yep. And we're going to go back to main menu. And that is all for today. I do appreciate you guys being here, as always. So you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, a little notification bell next to it. Ding! And lets me know you like the content. Alright, well, as always, love you all. Game on, and geek out.